The China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe's on its way back to Earth after collecting rock and soil samples from the far side of the Moon. China's lunar probe has landed carrying samples from an unexplored far side of the Moon. The Chang'e 6 mission, which lasted for 53 days. China's latest revelation from the far side of the Moon has sent a tremor through the global space community. Not because it was entirely unexpected, but because of the magnitude of what it implies. A recent mission by China's Chang'e lunar program has unveiled findings that may redefine not just humanity's understanding of lunar geology, but the potential of lunar resource exploitation. And it's causing a ripple of anxiety within agencies like NASA. For decades, the Moon was seen largely as a barren satellite, lifeless and dry, with strategic importance limited to observational science and as a stepping stone to Mars. But China's discovery throws that old perception into question. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The Chang'e 6 mission, the latest in a series of meticulously planned lunar endeavors, landed in the South Pole at Basin, an area on the Moon's far side that had never been explored at such depth before. The mission's sample return capsule, after months of automated lunar operations, brought back a collection of regolith and subsurface material unlike any previously retrieved. What stunned scientists wasn't just the novelty of where the material came from, but what it contained. Deep within the returned samples was evidence of something extraordinary. Previously unknown compounds, traces of potentially usable water ice, and a high concentration of helium-3, a rare isotope with enormous potential for clean nuclear fusion energy. The significance of this find cannot be overstated. Helium-3 has long been theorized as a potential fuel for nuclear fusion reactors, a dream of clean, near-limitless power. While Earth holds only trace amounts of this isotope, the Moon, and particularly its far side, is believed to contain it in meaningful quantities embedded in the lunar regolith by billions of years of solar wind bombardment. What China's discovery shows is that these assumptions were not only correct but perhaps underestimated. Preliminary analysis suggests that the concentration of helium-3 in the South Pole Aitken Basin is far greater than any previously recorded in lunar missions. This elevates the Moon from a scientific curiosity to a potential gold mine of strategic resources. But even more alarming to international observers is the realization that China now holds the most advanced and comprehensive access to these resources. Their technology has proven its capability in robotic navigation, autonomous sample collection, and successful return of material from a side of the Moon that remains invisible from Earth. This puts them at a critical technological and strategic advantage. For space agencies like NASA, long focused on collaborative missions and scientific exploration, this changes the game. The implications go far beyond science. The ability to extract helium-3 or water ice could mark the beginning of a new space race, not merely for exploration, but for control over the Moon's valuable resources. Water ice, for instance, can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen, essential components for rocket fuel and breathable air. If China can develop infrastructure to process these materials on the Moon, they will effectively hold the keys to the gateway of deep space travel. Establishing a lunar refueling station would drastically reduce the cost and complexity of Mars missions and even commercial spaceflight. Moreover, the presence of previously unknown compounds still undergoing classification by Chinese laboratories opens further intrigue. Some early leaks from Chinese scientific circles suggest that among the substances found are unusual silicates and metallic oxides with crystalline structures not seen in typical lunar samples. These might have applications in electronics, material science, or even defense technologies. The fact that these materials were found in a region of the Moon inaccessible to any other nation only intensifies the global unease. What makes the situation more urgent is the geopolitical context. Space exploration, once seen through the lens of international cooperation, is now being viewed by many as a field of competitive advantage. China has invested heavily in its space infrastructure, pouring billions into not just lunar missions, but satellite constellations, deep space communication networks, and space-based energy projects. The Moon, with this new discovery, becomes a central pillar in China's broader space strategy. Possessing the most data, the most capable unmanned systems, and the strongest operational history on the far side of the Moon, China now holds a dominant position. The Chang'e 6 mission also demonstrated China's technological maturity in space robotics. The mission employed a new generation of autonomous drilling and sampling units capable of analyzing soil layers in fine detail and selecting target materials based on real-time feedback. This level of AI-driven autonomy marks a leap ahead of what other space agencies have demonstrated. Combined with high-fidelity sample return technology, this capability not only increases the efficiency of resource prospecting, but could allow for the construction of semi-autonomous lunar bases in the near future. International observers have begun re-evaluating long-held assumptions about lunar sovereignty and resource allocation. While the Outer Space Treaty prohibits any nation from claiming ownership over celestial bodies, it does not specifically prohibit the extraction of resources. This legal gray area becomes increasingly contentious in light of China's discovery. The potential economic and technological benefits of monopolizing lunar helium-3 or controlling water ice extraction sites are too significant to ignore. As the lines between exploration, exploitation, and ownership blur, space law may face a reckoning. At the heart of this revelation lies the South Pole Atki Basin itself, a vast ancient crater stretching over 2,500 kilometers in diameter and extending more than 8 kilometers deep. This is not just the largest impact basin on the Moon. It is among the largest in the entire solar system. There is a quiet panic growing within NASA and other Western agencies. Not because they doubt the scientific merit of the discovery, but because of what it signals in terms of momentum. The US had long held a leadership role in lunar exploration since the Apollo missions. Yet, decades of shifting political priorities, budget constraints, and a collaborative international posture slowed the aggressive pursuit of permanent lunar presence. Meanwhile, China's space agency has maintained a focused trajectory, building capability upon capability step by step in a well-funded and centralized program. Now, with the lunar South Pole in their grasp and sample data that could rewrite textbooks, that leadership is being challenged. One particularly alarming aspect is China's rapid deployment capability. While the Chang'e 6 mission was still transmitting data, planning was already underway for follow-up missions aimed at establishing permanent infrastructure near the South Pole. These include power generation modules, communication arrays, and even preliminary designs for human habitats. If China succeeds in establishing a sustainable base, they will have both logistical dominance and operational momentum. Their ability to conduct multiple missions in rapid succession shows not only technological prowess, but also a political will that is unrelenting. The cascading effects of this discovery are beginning to shape the strategies of global space actors. Countries like India, Japan, and members of the European Space Agency are re-evaluating their lunar timelines. NASA, already involved in the Artemis program with an eye toward a moon base, finds itself under pressure to accelerate its schedule and broaden its